So for me, my advice for people who's in a crossroad right now, unsure, is to go find your talent elsewhere. Like go find your what really interests you. Kasi in the end of the day, you only have one life to live then naman, di ba? So would you rather go to your last days of your life, di ba, regretting the decisions you've made? You haven't really immersed yourself in the things that really interest you, right? So yeah, for me, I really believe na it's a waste if you don't try and pursue what really interests you.
Welcome to Kaka Computer, where tech meets wit and wisdom. And our episode today is about obsession versus talent. In other words, hard work versus talent lang naman to, no? So, I guess ito yung sinasabi nila, no? Does hard work eventually trump talent, right? So, ano yung initial thoughts niyo dyan? Kasi it's a debate, no, for
Yep.
out there. Who wants to start? Team talent o team hard work?
I guess I can start. For me, I think it's a bit of a mix.
No,
For
syempre.
myself, talent, I believe it's innate. So, if you have the talent, definitely you have the advantage, you have the edge. And definitely, I believe that talent alone, it would open up doors for you. Like open up opportunities, and in the tech recruitment side, diba, I believe it would open up a lot of interviews. A lot of companies would be very much interested to speak to you. So that's my point number one. But at the same time, I think naman for the hard work side, for the obsession side, it's also equally important for you to further grow and mas long term siya. And I think, as I mentioned, diba, talent, it will definitely get you interviews, open up doors. But then, si hard work naman, this will then be the one to open doors for you for promotion, for growth, for more learning. So, yeah, that's my stand on that one.
Right.
Yeah, for me, I think it's a mix of both. So I think everyone has talent. You just have to find it. And then, the longer you try it in your career using just talent, the more parang mas konti yung return niya sa career mo. You cannot go far with just talent on itself. You also have to pair it with hard work. So if you just use talent, mauubusan ka ng opportunities.
Yes, sa akin, I'm coming from a place where I've been like working for siguro 10 plus years. And then at the moment, it's no longer about the talent part. It's more of parang how long have you spent on solving different problems, exposing yourself, and of course, it's really the output. So sa mata ni client, for example, or sa mata ng boss nyo, sometimes it doesn't matter if you're a genius or not. At the end of the day, it's about having the desire to get something done and getting that output. So from my end, if I were to choose one, it would definitely be yung hard work, and in this case, parang obsession. Kasi a lot of people already give up sa start pa lang. And sometimes pag nagkaroon ng blockers or challenges, they stop. Pero if you want to be an expert in something, you have to spend years doing the same thing, trying out different variations. There would be times where some tasks would be easier because you have the talent. There would be times where weak point mo yung isang item. But if you are not that good in that specific area, you basically just have to work harder. So yun yung constant. Kasi even the talented ones, they give up. They won't get the same output as you want. So from my end, if I were to choose one, it would definitely be hard work.
Right. I think talent, no? We have to define kasi what talent really is. It's such a big word, and parang is it born in you or is it something you work hard on, or right? I think there is no such thing as talent actually. It's actually interest. It's not talent, it's interest. And the more you practice that interest, you become talented on it. It's
Agree.
not talent, no?
Agree.
It's not kasi sabihin natin, of course, hindi to kasama maybe some sports. kunwari, mas malakas yung DNA mo sa lungs, edi syempre, iba yun, no? Pero, in terms of career, no? Career or other things, it's really interest. And if you're not interested in it, our brains are muscles, right? With any kind of muscles, you have to flex it to some extent, and you have to work on it. Kasi I have also seen really talented people that because they didn't flex that over years, parang sabi ko, alam ko, mas matalino to sa akin dati Ba't parang hindi na? Kaya natawa kayo doon. No, but seriously speaking, as a joke aside, no, but because they were not given the avenue to practice their talent, parang nawala yung talent. So the challenge here is to find the interest or your talent and make sure that there is a way for you to constantly work hard or obsess on that talent para you don't lose it. Kasi you lose talent. Ganon din sa akin, yung sabi ko, baliktad naman. Sabi ko dati parang magaling ako sa chess. Pero parang hindi na. Kasi di na ako nakakalaro. Hindi ko nagagamit, no? So even if may talent ako at that point, because hindi ko nagamit, parang nawala yung talent na yun. So I think talent is actually a fake word. No?
Okay.
Yeah. That's in my perspective.
Rafi, question. So if we were to like have a different term for it, is it okay to call it skill level?
Pwede. Skill level. Pero ano siya din, you have to hold that skill, no? Parang kailangan mo gawin lagi, otherwise nawawala.
So I think the key word here would be consistency.
Consistency.
Yeah.
And practice.
Practice. Of course, we know that's inversely naman kung hard work or obsession, right? Pero wala kang interest nun. In other words, wala kang talent nun. Right? No matter how hard you work on it, sobra-sobra, parang mapapagod ka. And ayaw mo yun, you'll regret it. And so, parang there's a blocker to you. Right? So you won't reach the full potential of that. So that's why I think that's the challenge, finding the talent that you are interested in, that you can obsess in.
Yeah, kasi I think interest is what keeps you moving forward, especially when you hit that roadblock, right? Kung hindi ka masaya sa ginagawa mo, if you're not very interested, di ba? You will just, parang hindi mo na itutuloy yung ginagawa mo.
Yes, please visit our website at tutorialstudio.com. We provide free courses for AWS and, of course, premium resources for certification exams for AWS, Azure, Kubernetes, and GCP.
So, siguro may masasabi ba kayo about people who feel like ay, nasa wrong industry ako or ang untalented ako? Ano yung masasabi nyo or advice nyo dun? Should they try to look for a different talent? Should they stick it out? Kasi it's very rare that you are also given the chance to practice what you really like. No, parang where you work, you love what you work. Di ba? Everyone, we want that, love what you work. But it's also very rare, or hopefully not as rare, but it happens. Sometimes you cannot, your work is work, love is love, different talaga, no? So for those instances naman, should they push on, obsess on it, or find their talent elsewhere?
For me, I believe, I'm an advocate kasi talaga of doing what you love. So for me, my advice for people who's in a crossroad right now, unsure, is to go find your talent elsewhere. Like, go find your what really interests you. Kasi in the end of the day, you only have one life to live then naman, di ba? So, would you rather go to your last days of your life, di ba, regretting the decisions you've made, you haven't really immersed yourself in the things that really interest you, right? So yeah, for me, I really believe na it's a waste if you don't try and pursue what really interests you.
I think sa akin, for me, medyo kabaliktaran sa answer ni Sir Shane. I think I would say, try mo your best until you cannot anymore. Kasi if you pivot early, maybe sa back of your mind, it would come back na, what if I pushed more? Maybe I could have, mas malayong mararating ko. Di ba? Versus dun sa, you give it your all and you know na wala na talaga. And dun ka lang mag-shift. But yeah, there's a parang fine line na you have to find yung kung kailan yung best way na pwede mong sabihin na okay, it's not for me. And you should pivot.
So, Arvs, when you're hiring, talent or parang hard work ang una mong hinahanap?
Sa hiring, meron kaming exam. Hands-on exam. Doesn't matter kung talented or hardworking yung person. As long as yung skill level niya and experience is able to help that person answer the hands-on exam. So parang, kunyari, CRUD sa website, no? Kung kaya niya mabuo yun in 1 to 2 days, then mapakita niya sa demo, and explain niya yung concepts, then that's good. Sa end naman namin, parang we don't even choose schools. So from our end is the skill level. To help build on top of what they said. Kasi parang, do you stay in the same industry? It really depends on the context of that person and also the season. So for example, right now, generative AI. Parang, generative AI here, generative AI there, LLM here, LLM there. People would ask, oh, nasa security field ako, should I study AI? Diba? The same question. Ang sagot doon is, it depends on how far you are from that space. Kasi if you're too far, tapos kailangan mong mag-aral for 3 years, example lang, kailangan mag-aral for 3 years just to reach a certain level of mastery or expertise in a specific field. You have also to take into account the practical side of things. How much would you spend for the education? Do you have the opportunities at work to learn that skill? And sometimes you may be in a company where you're not able to practice it. So really depends, pero ang recommendation ko lang for everyone is, when you're listening to this podcast interview, you're probably an adult. So, step number 1, decide. Pero once you decide, you stick with your decision. Hindi yung parang, ay, di ko pala kaya, suko ako. Stick with it for 2 years, 3 years. Then that's the time you decide. Baka mamaya kasi 1 day pa lang, suko agad. Ibang usapan yun. So, pagka-decide nyo, try nyo 6 months, dire-diretso. Then, if it doesn't work out, at least na-try nyo. Then, move to another industry.
Right. Very interesting, no? Because there is also really talented people, I would say, no, na parang God-given style na parang very unique. And may nakita ko kanina, parang actually one of the Facebook or TikTok, whatever yun, yung parang sobrang talino niya pero hindi siya happy. No, hindi siya happy. Because yung parang sobrang nasa field siya na very stressful, etc. Right? So parang sobrang hardworking niya dun sa talent na yon, and parang nag-regret din siya kasi masyadong ng madaming things yung in-effort niya dun sa field na yon, no? And I think at one point naging interest naman niya yun. Right? And I think that's why talent itself changes over time. So this is something you have to check lang din. Na your talent now may not be necessarily your talent later on. And likewise, if you're not talented on this one now, you might get talented on that later on.
Parang game, no? Parang later on, ma-unlock mo ibang skills. Parang gano'n, di ba?
Tama. Any additional input?
Siguro from my end, usually kasi napagko-compare nyo yung sarili nyo with your peers. Marirecommend ko na it's about appreciating the small things na you're able to do and also learning from others. Minsan kasi may tendency na, mas magaling siya sa akin, tatalo ko. Usually, in reality, you will have to work with that person. Hindi siya parang inggitan. Dapat, at some point, magiging group work naman yun eh. So it's about parang working on things na you're able to work together and then appreciating ano yung meron siya, ano yung meron ka. Kasi makikita nyo, after 2 to 3 years, magugulat ka na kung ano yung meron kang naka-work before na kasi sila talented dun. Magugulat ka na absorb mo na rin eh. Kasi parang may osmosis, no, in some sense. No?
Right.
Pero yan, it's about also realizing na you can learn from others and you can also acquire skills just by reading, by learning, and watching different podcast interviews, for example. Kasi just by listening, yung wisdom, yung way of thinking ng mga tao, you're able to absorb the framework and you're able to make the right decisions. Kasi usually doon naman yun, nagkakamali ka kasi there's no advice and it's about making the right move Kasi iba din yung skill, iba din yung decision-making na part, which also plays a big factor dun sa success.
I really like that, no? Go ahead.
I'm just saying na that's very good kasi for me, the culture that I'm trying to build then within myself, within my team, celebrating progress. So not everything naman you can learn overnight. 'Di ba? Like especially mga more technical hard skill set, 'di ba? It's not something na you can learn very quickly. So it would really take time. And what I always reiterate sa mga team members ko is no matter how small the progress it is, it's still progress. So you need to celebrate that. Kasi it would really help you kasi it would keep your motivation levels higher. It would push you to learn more, 'di ba? To put more effort into it. So yeah, I think don't underestimate yung mga small progress, the small wins that you're having.
Right? And to end, Ran, to wrap up, no? I really like it na you said parang you can use other people's talent. No? So, don't limit yourself to your own talent but also use other people's talent and yun nga, may osmosis effect in the end.